to the channel, everybody. I'm Creative Precious Metals. Hopefully you recognise my voice. And today we are doing our next collaboration between me and Cobra Stacker. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one, this one. Say hi, Cobra Stacker.
Hey guys, how you doing? And Creative Precious Metals, thank you again. Let's get another one going and see where this one leads us.
Absolutely, mate. Hopefully this one will be a little bit more controlled with the last one, albeit the last one was really good fun.
It was, but it did go on different tangents without a doubt. But thank you everyone for joining us. And let's see what rabbit holes this one takes us down.
Okay, cool. Right, I gave you a little bit of an inkling. Everybody, this has brought around not my obsession with Cobra Stacker's channel, but my interest. And I was talking to Cobra Stacker the other evening, and he was talking about all the different places he buys his silver and gold from, and it posed a good question for me to obviously ask him about his journey. So basically, I've written down some questions, Cobra Stacker, and they are on your stacking journey. Where did you buy from, and how have you found the service that you've got from the people that you bought them from? What was the best and the worst? What are your recommendations? From buying? Any pitfalls, and what would you do if you could do anything differently if you would? So if we could go through that sort of setup, that'd be really cool, mate. So I'll start on this incredible journey that you've very kindly shared on YouTube through your channel to everybody out there. Where'd you get all your precious metals from, buddy?
Well, it all started when I decided I was going to start buying precious metals. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and what you'll find is a lot of them are from America. And so they all talk about going to coin shops and their local coin shop and all that. Well, we haven't really got that, but I did start thinking about pawn shops. So I actually bought my first coins from pawn shops. But there is a big but with that. It's not the best place to buy them. So they are overpriced compared to anywhere else. And I didn't know about anywhere else to buy them from originally. So maybe for a sovereign, I was paying £450, £460 at the time, whereas I could have been picking up sovereigns for £390, £400. So pawn shops was the beginning. And I will get back to that, but I did actually form a friendship with one of them. And he actually rings me up whenever he gets some stuff in now, and he does do it at a much cheaper price for me. And then through watching the other stuff, I sort of looked at the bullion dealers, and the Royal Mint was the first one I really sort of hit. And again, very, very expensive. And then I started looking at some of the other bullion dealers like Atkinson's, Tavik's, Shards, and the Silver Forum. So we can delve deeper into them, and I can tell you about each one.
Sure, that's absolutely fantastic. And we'll go into that in a second. But from a service point of view, have you found in the industry that and from the places you bought from all been really good, or have you been a little bit wary, or is it fairly good out there?
Some are better than others. So we'll talk about the price later and the different prices you can pay from different people. But there was one, and I won't mention their name only for the reason I don't want to put someone down or put a company down. The others I will mention because they were really good. But this one place was a bullion dealer, and I phoned them up and I had a chat with them, and they basically became really heavy in trying to sell to me, to the point they were ringing me up and trying to use fear contacts. And I did actually do a video on this, pushing me saying, oh, have you heard the banks are collapsing and you need to buy now? And, the price is going to shoot up because everyone's going to run to it because of the bank collapse in America. And they really put on the pressure. So that was the only one that I found a problem with. Royal Mint are very good with their customer service. So if you have any problems or there's anything you want to talk to them about, You may have to wait a little bit to get onto them on the phone, but once you do get through, their customer service is absolutely brilliant. Shards, Atkinsons, I've had no issues with them. It really, for all of these, they do have good customer service. It's really down to price and fishing about between the few of them and seeing where the best place is to go.
Oh, that's really cool, mate. It's like anything in life when you're starting off a journey. I suppose you get to know what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, who you want to deal with, who you don't want to deal with. Which brings me to my next question on your silver buying, stacking, collecting journey. When you're looking around different places to buy from, what would attract you? Is it price? Is it people? Is it the marketing? Is it what sort of things do you look for?
Well, on the bullion sites, the first thing is the ease of navigating on their website. So if I want to look for a coin, I want to be able to easily find it. I mean, Backyard Bullion did a video where he said he found Atkinsons more convenient and easy to use than Shards, whereas I found Shards more convenient and easy to use than Atkinsons. So one is negotiating around a website, but yes, price is the main one. These are all trusted bullion dealers, so I have no issue in buying from any of them. But it all comes down to price. And if we look at them, they vary on certain things. I found Shards to be very good, Atkins to be very good. Bullion by post is a little bit expensive, and the raw mint is extortionately expensive. And I would, in my opinion, advise to say, buy from the raw mint if you're buying proofs, but don't buy your bullion from them, because the day they bring it out in bullion, whatever it may be, Atkinsons and Shards will have it out in bullion as well, and I guarantee it'll be cheaper. And that was a mistake I made recently. But then there is one other option you've got, and that's communities. And that's when we start talking about the Silver Forum or eBay and all that lot. But we can go deeper into that in a moment.
Brilliant. That's really good. So that gives us a basic of what you would look for when you've been stacking silver, and obviously continue to stack your silver and gold. What have you found in your journey for you personally when, you know, how long have you been going for, Cobra Stacker? What, 6-7 months, something like that?
So I started in the beginning of December of 22.
Yeah.
And as I say, I started off with a few pawn shops, and I soon realized that I was paying way over the odds. And then I went on to the Royal Mint and I started buying a bit from them. And then through watching more and more videos, and as I say, the UK creators, there weren't that many out there, or they were up and coming. And so you weren't really finding out a lot. But then I heard about Shards, Atkinsons, and Bullion by Post. The first one I used was Bullion by Post. Excellent service, excellent delivery time, no hassles at all. But as I say, I went on to Shards and Atkinson and found they were cheaper. All of them with really good quality. But what I'm finding now, what I'm doing now is my gold, I will buy from Shards or Atkinsons, but there's the Silver Forum, and the Silver Forum is amazing. Now, we all know about eBay, how their prices are way above what they should be, probably because eBay charges such an amount in fees to the seller. And also the amount of fakes and the amount of things that can go wrong with eBay. But I honestly would say that if you want to hit the secondary market, and with bullion stuff, it doesn't really matter if it's secondhand, the quality is very good and people do take care of their things. Obviously, you've got to judge that by the photos that they post. But the Silver Forum has such a good community who all work together and make sure that everything runs right. There's a gentleman called Chris Silver who set it up, and he monitors it constantly and is really on it, making sure everyone's proper. And you can check the feedback of people, the amount of things that goes for sale on there at extremely good prices, beating the dealers, beating the pawn shops, beating eBay, and the sense of community and the people you meet on there is phenomenal.
That's really cool. I mean, I know of the Silver Forum, but I want to touch on that in a minute. I'm just going to go back to you. You've mentioned Shards, Atkinson, the Royal Mint. Have you used any of the other, when you do a Google for gold and silver coins, you get, is it UK gold? Is it UK gold or UK bullion comes up? I think there's another one. Have you used any of those?
Well, this is what I'm saying. There was one which did come up when you do a Google search, and that was the one who was trying to hard sell me using fear tactics and really pushing and pushing and pushing. And in the end, I turned around to him and I basically said to him, look, I'm not your average fool, and I'm not just going to panic buy because you're ringing me up going, have you heard what's happened this morning? A bank has failed. And so I'd be wary of them. I think the main ones, and please, guys, comment below if I'm wrong, and if there's another bullion dealer which you are happy with and you use, who you can tell us all is decent and proper. But for me, Tavex, Atkinson's, Shards, the Royal Mint, they're the main ones. I don't think I need to go anywhere else apart from, say, the Silver Forum, but bullion dealers, I don't think I need to look anywhere else, because between the 3 or 4 of them, you can always get the best price. And I know their service is good, and I know the quality of what they're selling you is proper.
Excellent. That's a great bit of experience. Thank you very much for sharing that. I think as a rule, most people in the UK will have heard of these companies. So hopefully people can relate to what you're saying and do a bit of research and have a little bit more confidence. If they're just thinking, well, don't I, can I trust these people? Can I not? So yeah, thank you so much for that. Before we get into the Silver Forum, buddy, give us an idea of how Cobra Stacker, whether you go to the Royal Mint, Atkinson's or Shards, I'm using those because they're the ones I've written down. Did you mention Tavex, was it?
Yes, Tavex is another good one.
And Tavex, I've used those. I haven't looked at those, so I'll have to have a look at those as well. Give us, the viewer, an idea of what your process is, what you're thinking. Do you just come up, to give you a bit of a prompt, do you just come up with an idea, I want some more silver, I want this particular thing, and what's your thinking behind it? Don't go into detail, obviously, but just a little bit of an idea of how Cobra Stacker looks at, okay, I want to get some more gold, this is what I do, type thing,
Okay, well, my main goal in the beginning was to have a little bit of gold and to build up to 1,000 ounces of silver. Now, everyone says, stack your basic bullion coins, so get your Britannias, etc., from the country you're in, and they are right. As a stacker, that is exactly what you should do. My thing was, I would have got very bored with 1,000 Britannia coins sitting in my shelf, in my safe. It would have bored me. So I wanted a bit of variety. So as I would look, I would see, say, the Queen's Beast, and I would whack out, get a whole load of Queen Beast, 2 ounces, 10 ounces, 1 kilo completers, etc. And so those were very easy to get from the Silver Forum. Again, secondary market, these are not newer products. And so the Silver Forum was ideal for it. Again, with gold and sovereigns, because sovereigns are the most liquid of gold, as in they're so easy to sell and buy. And this is one major point that I think everyone has to understand. It's very easy to buy, but you must understand how and where you can sell. And if you don't, then it's all well and good saying, yeah, when the price goes up, I'll sell. And the only place you've got in your head that you can sell is to a bullion dealer who may give you spot or just under. So again, the Silver Forum came in handy for that. But again, that's something we can touch on later on. Now, when new releases come out, that's where I start looking at the bullion dealers or the Royal Mint. So I knew, for instance, when we lost our Queen, there would be a whole load of memorial coins coming out. With the King, there was a whole load of coronation coins coming out. And where was I going to go for them? Well, the Silver Forum's not going to be any good for them because obviously this is a second-hand market and these coins are just coming out. Errors which I have made, which I would advise you against, is obviously these coins come from the Royal Mint. And so your first thing is, right, go to the Royal Mint and see what they've got. by all means, go and have a look at the Royal Mint to see exactly what the collection is that's being released. But honestly, unless it is a proof set, do not buy it from them. If it's bullion, then you go to the bullion dealers and you have a look and you go, okay, they've got the whole range there. I'll have one of them, two of them, five of them, whatever it may be. So it really depends on what I want to get. For instance, I have a deep affinity with the Perth Mint. I absolutely love their coins. They are beautiful, they're stunning, really great artwork and very high quality. Tabex is one of the best places to get your Perth Mint stuff from. Again, Shards will do a few bits, but Tabex have found to have a bit more variety on that one. So really it's getting to know the actual bullion dealers that you're dealing with and what they have in stock, how often they get stuff in stock. And for me, again, Shards has hit in very well with that. They always have quite a bit in stock. And so it's varying. So it's really about searching through them and all that and choosing what you want. Have an idea of what you want before you go to the bullion dealers and start looking. If you've got, I don't know, £1,000 and you're ready to invest and you're not really sure, then yeah, use it as a catalogue. Go onto their website, see what you like. But ideally, if you are just doing this for stacking, then it is correct. Stick with the sovereigns, stick with the Britannias, the UK coins, so there's no CGT at the end of it, and carry on with that. Remember, whenever you're buying from the bullion dealers or from the Royal Mint, you are going to pay VAT on the silver. Whereas when you buy from the Silver Forum, you're not. And that's another big saving with the Silver Forum.
And is that because the Silver Forum is mainly a second-hand market?
It is exactly that. It's a second-hand market and it's individual selling, not businesses. So obviously when a business hits a certain amount of threshold of what their turnover is, they have to register, which means they must charge VAT, and that obviously gets paid on to the government in their taxes. Whereas an individual selling on the Silver Forum is not VAT registered and therefore doesn't have to sell them with VAT on top.
Okay, cool. That's a great bit of information. I'm still not going to come to the Silver Forum yet because I haven't finished with it. I'm dying to because I've never used it, so I've got a great interest in finding out about it. But
Yep.
that was really interesting about Tabex, because I'm like you. I think the Perth Mint produce some absolutely stunning pieces of design on their silver. Yeah, they do gold, but I haven't got any of their gold. I presume you've got some gold.
I have a lot of the gold I bought from them. I mean, I think off the top of my head, I did buy a couple of Perth Mint pieces, but I actually got them off Shards, if I remember rightly. But mainly the gold that I bought from the bullion dealers has been the Britannias, and probably a couple of the world coins here and there I've picked up from them as well. Say, for instance, now I know I want a panda, a 1 ounce panda, and you've got to be careful with the pandas. You've got a 30-gram panda in gold and you've got a 1 ounce, all going by the years. And they don't come up very often on the Silver Forum. It's not something that a lot of people have, or if they do, they don't want to get rid of it. And I will go on to Shards and Atkinsons and Tabex and have a look at them, and I'll probably pick one up from them. And this is where you've got the benefit with them, where they may have coins that other people don't have if you see something you really like.
Cool. That's really great bit of info. Another question while you've been chatting away there that come to my head was, have you actually bought anything from abroad? I know you've got you bought some stuff whilst you was in India. I remember the video, that was fascinating, and we want more of that, please.
Well, I've got a few little trips coming up, so I will be, everywhere I go, I will try and buy something from that country. But keep a couple of things in mind, guys, if you're buying from abroad. So I went to India, and I went into a gold dealer over there. I bought 2 10-ounce bars. One moment, coins I bought. I might have them on me. Yeah, there we go. So they're Tanishq. I don't know how well you can see that actually. Yes, Tanishq coins. And they're 10 gram, 10 gram coins. And they're very dull, They're not very exciting at all. But I thought, I want to get something from each country I go to. I'll buy them. Look, there's two things. Don't do that. If you don't like the look of what you're buying, don't waste your money on it. And secondly, another mistake I made was the amount of taxes they put on it made it absolutely unviable. And when I was buying it, I knew I was paying way over what I had to in tax. And then I also found out I could have claimed back some of the taxes because I didn't live in the country, and I didn't do that either. So there's a few things when you're buying abroad that you should take note of, what taxes you can get back. And if it doesn't fall within the right prices for what you're buying, and, we all know roughly what the price should be, don't buy it just for the sake of buying it.
Yeah, that's a really good bit of advice, Cobra Stacker. Have you actually bought anything online from abroad, or is it only when you've been away?
So I have I think on 365 Days of Silver, just did a video on the Pressburg Mint, and they have some absolutely beautiful silver coins. And I've just bought 5 coins from them. And I got an email today, in fact, saying they're on their way. So I can't wait for them to come in. So yes, I have bought from the Pressburg Mint, and that's winging its way over to me now. I think online that's the only one. But I think I'd be happy to buy off the mints, like the actual mints of a different country. I think I'd be wary of buying off bullion dealers from another country. Though there's bullion now out in Australia, and I have actually rang them and had a chat to them. And I may order, because there's certain things from the Perth Mint that we can't get over here easily at all. Some kilo coins that I really wanted. And I have had a chat with them, and I may order some stuff off them. But again, guys, remember, if you're buying silver from abroad, you will be hit with duty. So whatever they charge you won't be the final price. When that package comes in, because it is listed as what it is, you will be charged duty on it before it's delivered to you. So add another 20% onto whatever you're paying, because that's what you're going to pay in duty when it comes over.
Okay, I was going to ask you that actually. What was that mint that was on 365's channel? What was it called?
Pressburg Mint.
Pressburg Mint. Where are they?
I'm not sure if it's Germany or somewhere else. It's in Europe.
Okay.
In Europe. Look that up.
So when you went through the ordering process online, do they not charge that tax or export tax or import tax or whatever it is? Is that something that comes along additionally? How does that work, mate? Do you know?
So what happens is in Europe, I know for a fact, they have a VAT type of tax. And if you're living in that country or you're in the EU, they will charge you the VAT there and then. But because we're now out of the EU, as that package comes into England, you'll be charged duty when it lands over here. And so DHL will send you a letter, or they'll send you an email saying, for this to be released, you need to pay this much duty. And then you pay that, and your package carries on with its journey.
Interesting. Didn't know that, mate. You're full of information, and I'm sure, well, maybe a lot of people do know that, but for the ones that don't know it, that's really cool to know that.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure you add that tax onto the bill. When you're working out how much you're spending, add 20% on. And that's on silver, by the way. I'm not sure so much on gold, though there may be some additional taxes on gold. I know we don't pay them in this country, but yeah, I'm not sure how that would work. But definitely for silver, you're going to get charged VAT.
Right, that's cool. So I've got another question with that, mate. Sorry about this, because my mind's doing overtime. So how do I put this? So say we use a silver coin, yeah, abroad.
Yeah.
How is it cheaper? Because we have to pay tax on our Britannias and bits and bits, 20%. Is it cheaper looking around abroad, even if you have to pay that import tax or whatever it's called?
Not really. It's you're going to get more value. Again, we come back to the Silver Forum for this, and this is how good it is. For instance, if you were to buy a Britannia now from the Royal Mint, you're going to pay about £29 plus VAT, which will hit it up to about £32 a coin, roughly, depending on spot price and all that sort of stuff. But you can literally go onto the Silver Forum, and some of the guys on there, some of the members on there, have gone and bought a 500 monster box of those coins. So tubes of 25, they'll either sell it in tubes of 25 or you can buy them singly. And at the moment, I know the King Charles Britannia, they've been selling for £23.90, all in. So that's where I say, though it's a secondary market, you're still getting coins which are brand new in the tubes for a lot cheaper price.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's where it makes such a difference. So it's not worth buying it from abroad because you think you'll get it cheaper. Buying it from abroad is because there may be, like the Pressburg Mint, some absolutely amazing coins that you like, and we can't buy them over here. So you can order them online from abroad and get them over. But you're still going to be taxed on them. Our government will tax you that VAT on the silver. But as I say, the Silver Forum, you'll get those sort of coins, our UK coins especially, where people buy it in bulk, they get them at a cheaper price, and they sell them to each other at a cheaper price. So as I say, to pick them up at £24, let's say, compared to 31, 32, massive difference per coin.
Yeah, so that's amazing, and I'm quite excited to learn a little bit more about that process in a minute. Can I just say how really cool your setup looks?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm still trying to adjust things and do things. I'm trying to get some backing boards, like some soundproofing up, but it keeps falling down because the wood's all sort of curved. But yeah, I'm just playing with it at the moment and getting a few things done. I like a little bit of fake flowerage or leaves and stuff just to green it up a bit. And I will develop it. It will get better, guys. I promise you.
Right. And do you know the other interesting thing? I'm not sidestepping. It's just an observation. How cool the phone is to use on this call. Your image, my end, is pristine, very professional looking as well.
Thank you very much. I bought a webcam, as you know, and we were doing it through the computer with the webcam, and I couldn't zoom in and I couldn't zoom out, and I don't know, the quality just wasn't there. And I thought this time I need to try and use my phone. And I've got a mic that plugs into the phone, so it just made it a lot better. And I just thought, yeah, I've got to give it a go like that. So we're going to right.
Yeah, mate, it's amazing. And I will do a shout out to anyone that's watching. If you got any stickers, send them to Cobra Stacker, because he needs board.
Yeah, please. I really like the Americans and the way they've got their stickers going around, and this includes you guys over the pond. If you could send me your stickers and do a sticker swap and your address, I'll send them back over. And in the link, I will ask Creative Precious Metals to leave a link to myself with my PO box. Yeah, please get those stickers in. I want to display them. I want to put them on my backboard. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it is cool, mate. I do like, and I like your all your different colours as well. It's really giving it a really lovely. This is to me. It might not suit everyone, but it definitely suits me. It's just like a real peaceful look with the I like my nature. So you've got a bit of greenery in the background. Are they new or artificial, mate?
They're artificial.
Oh.
If they were new, they would not last very long. That's the truth. They are artificial, but they look nice. Look nice.
It's a nice touch, mate. It gives it a real nice feel. Real nice feel. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Right, dude. Silver Forum. We was talking about this the other night, and this is my thoughts. The reason why I haven't gone down that route, and that's confidence for me. I'm a bit of an old stuffler for trusting. I don't know why, but I think it's just maybe it's an age thing with me, or I don't know. But I always go with the old adage: if it's a well-known company, then normally you can trust it, and you might pay a little bit more, obviously, but you know, what you want is what you get type thing. So I've stayed away from the silver forum because of that reason. It's probably a bit of fear, really, and not knowing the process. So obviously you're a big advocate of the silver forum, which you was talking about the other night, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. I would love to understand, and for all the people out there that one haven't heard of them, or two are in the same sort of thing, maybe a little bit not confident to go down that route. And it's the same with eBay with me as well. You know, I don't trust eBay, which is ridiculous, really, because lots of people do use it. But yeah, please give us the spiel about the silver forum, please.
Okay. Well, look, with eBay, I make you right to a certain extent. There is a lot of fake stuff on there, and there are a lot of con artists on there, and there are a lot of people who will order, like if you're selling, and then say they never received it. So there are definitely problems with eBay. But the silver forum is very different. And the reason I say that, when I first joined it, obviously I had zero feedback. I knew no one on there. And I just started chatting to a few of the guys there. They were so helpful. Like with me and you, we've got to know each other a little bit, and we've realized how we're decent people. And a lot of people in this community are genuine people in the community, are in general very nice, very polite, and very helpful. So I started ordering a couple of bits, and I started ordering small. And everything came within a very good time. The communication was amazing. And I started to pick up who the key characters were in there. And I'll mention a couple of names who I know wouldn't mind. Solachesis. He's a younger gentleman who's into stacking and all that lot. So helpful. Fenlander one. Again, another one, he'll pass you, like if he knows what your type of thing is that you're trying to buy, he'll always tag you in it. Now, what I also found is if you're a seller with zero feedback, they actually ask you to send the product first to a trusted member, and then he'll pay you and build your feed up like that. So they have little things in there for new people to help them to get feedback. And I have found it to be totally trustworthy. I have had no issues there whatsoever. And I think in the 7-8 months or whatever I've been buying from there, one issue came up and every member jumped on it immediately, absolutely immediately. And Chris Silver, the moderator on there, or the owner or whatever, he got rid of that person straight away. And so the whole forum is kept clean and decent, with really decent people on there. And I honestly can say there is no issues. And if you're a bit nervous, go on there and don't buy anything straight away from anyone with less feedback than, say, 100 or 200, because they will not want to lose that feedback. And you'll also find that if you join up with them, I think there's different levels you can join in it. You can be a freebie, but you won't see the sales listings for 3 days after they're listed. Members get first look at it and first choice to buy. But if you pay $4.99 a year or something, and please double check that, I'm not sure exactly, I can't remember, I just paid a one-off fee and got mine. You become a member and you can see all the listings straight away. And there is so much on there. And, you know, I'm on there, and if anyone wanted to join and they know me from these videos, please chat to me in there and I will guide you, and I will tell you someone's trusted, or if I don't know them or anything like that, I'll be happy to help.
That's really cool, mate. Now, Cobra Stacker has mentioned a few names there, and what I'll ask Cobra Stacker to do is, if you can actually send me over those names, I'll make sure that they go on the description in this video, if that's okay with you, Cobra Stacker.
I will, absolutely. And these people will be happy to help anyone who joins in new and has any questions at all. And so would I. I mean, you can private message people. You can talk to them on the forum, as in the open. So anyone who gets on there through seeing this and is not sure about anything, look me up, Cobra Stacker, send me a message, and I will guide you through the process and help you all the way.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. That's really kind of you. I'll probably take you up on that myself.
No problem.
Right. So without going into the massive detail of how you do, can you just give us a bit of a basic idea of how you do it, what you have to do, just so that when people go into there, they've got a slight bit of an insight into how that process works.
Yeah.
How's it listed? How do you find those listings? Does it automatically come up on a feed? Do you have to subscribe or not subscribe to someone to get those feeds? How does that work?
Yeah. So basically, when you go on there, as I say, you can go on as a non-member, and then you can basically, if you click in the top, there's a little 3 lines in the top. You click on that, and it says buy and sell. Click on that one, and it will say buy and sell UK. Click on that, and it will take you into it. Now, you've got 2 choices. You've got graded and ungraded. So your ungraded is your bullion stuff and proof, and graded is where it's been sent off to NGC in America and graded coins. Now, there are people who only buy graded coins, so they'll go in that section. And like myself, there are people who will buy proofs and bullions only. So you go into that section, and then it is just listed down. And in the title of each section, it will say, I don't know, 10 Silver Britannia 1 ounce coins. You click on that, and it will show you the photos. It will give you a description. It will tell you the price. And they'll always tell you whether it includes post or it doesn't include post. And a lot of people will give you a choice of what type of postage. If it's just 1 silver coin worth £30, you can pay a lower postage. If it's a gold coin worth £1,600, then you want to get it special delivery and recorded delivery and all that. So it's a very easy system once you get on it. Give yourself a name. Don't use your own personal name. Give yourself a name and go on there and start chatting to them. Go into the buy and sell section and list down them. And literally, if there's anything that takes your fancy, have a look at it, go into it. You can then see who is selling it. Click on their name. It will give you all their profile, how many times they've sold. Everyone has to leave a review every time you buy or sell something. So you'll get to know what that person is like, whether they're prompt with their deliveries, etc. And honestly, without a word of a lie, I have bought one hell of a lot of gold and silver from the Silver Forum. And not on one occasion have I had a problem. Not once.
That's reassuring. That's given me a lot of confidence, actually, to be honest. To use the site that's definitely really useful. That, you know, when I see the quantity of what you've done in that period of time, for you to be confident enough to say, and obviously that would just clear it up. You're not sponsored by the Silver Forum.
No, not at all. I have nothing to do with them in that way at all. All I've ever done on Silver Forum is bought. I think I have sold 2 items on it myself. I don't really sell a lot. I buy, but there was 2 items and I had doubles of them, and I thought, oh, I'll just get rid of that one and use the money for something else. So I bought and sold on it. And yeah, I have no affiliation, no sponsorship, no nothing. I'm literally talking about the best places I buy and sell my silver and gold. And as I said in the beginning, it's very important to have an outlet to sell as well. And I guarantee you will sell for the best prices on the Silver Forum. But you do need to have feedback. You do need to get involved with the community to sell. So if you literally went on there with 0 feedback, signed up and tried to sell something, most people would probably ignore you because they don't trust it, because you're brand new. But if the price was good, then one of the main members like myself or a couple of the people I mentioned or some others would contact you and say, look, we'll help you. If you have faith in us, you know, we're known members and you can ask around on the site. Basically, you send it first. The minute we get it, we will put the money in a transfer, and then we'll give you feedback and all that lot. And it builds their feedback, and next thing they're on a roll. And there are some very trusted members on there.
Oh, wow. Can you just say that again, Cobra Stacker? Because I just lost it a little bit, lost the thread of what you said.
Yeah. So buying is very easy. You don't have to have any feedback to buy, because you're buying. It's no risk to the buyer, to the seller, as in who's buying it, because you transfer the money first. But if you're a seller and you've never been on the Silver Forum, you can go on there, put up a piece that you want to sell. If the price is right, people are going to be nervous because you have 0 feedback. But the main people in the community are always trying to help people. So they will turn around and say, okay, I'll buy that off you, but you send it to me first. Once I get it, I will immediately bank transfer you, and then I will leave you feedback. Now, it's a trust thing. And those people who do that on there are very trusted. And you can ask the whole of the community and they'll say, yep, he's a trusted member. You won't be let down. And I've done it myself. I've offered new people that service. They've done it. The minute I've got it, I've transferred the money and I've given them a review. And once you get 1 or 2 or 3 reviews from main people in that community, selling on there is quite easy as well.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah. So yeah, it's a big trust mechanism, but it's also, it sounds from what you've been saying about it, it's all about reputation. And, you know, obviously the more sincere and reputable you are, the more likely you are to get a lot more transactions done, whether it's buying or selling. Well, probably more.
As I say, buying is not a problem.
Right.
You don't have to be known or a trusted member or whatever, because you're buying. So the seller, you know, you transfer the money before the seller does anything anyway. But it's more as a seller. If you want to sell on there, then you need to build up a reputation. But as a buyer, anyone can go on there and buy quite easily, no problem at all. And you'll build up a reputation being a buyer as well. I've built up a massive amount of feedback, all positive, all very good. And I'm known in the community there because of the amount I've bought. So if I was to sell something, they'd all have trust in me with that.
That's really cool. This is something I really like about this community, isn't it? When you're dealing with money, there's a lot of trust involved. So yeah, that can work 2 ways, obviously, but it can be very short-lived if you cock it up. But it can be very long-standing if you don't.
Absolutely. And as I say, I have found on the Silver Forum that, you know, I haven't found a single person on there who has made me think, oh, this could be dodgy here. Not one. It is a very good community. And because most of the people on the community pay the subscription there, they don't want to muck things up. They're genuinely there for the right reasons.
Oh, that's really cool, mate. I've got I'm just going off track because I keep watching you move your camera around and picking up different things on your background.
Sorry about that.
Now, what's the snake theme, buddy?
The snake?
Yeah, the snake theme. The obviously Cobra Stacker, and if you pan out a little bit, you've got these beautiful snakes and everything in and around that look really cool.
Okay, I will go on to this one here. Right. I have to just pause you for 1 second. Just 1 second, I'll be back.
No problem at all. I hope you're all finding this really interesting. It's fascinating. We often see how you know, the product and the finished product of what oh crikey, YouTube creators are doing, but we don't really know like too much about the detail of how it's created, how they, well, for this argument, the argument's sake of this video, how Cobra Stacker has been, how he's been purchasing, where he goes, and we'll get a little bit more into it. We haven't got a great deal of time left, but we'll get a little bit more into that journey in a minute. But yeah, I hope you're finding this interesting. I'm really fascinated about the Silver Forum, and definitely can have a look at Tavex.
Right.
Tavex, right. Thanks, mate. Sorry, you're back.
I'm really sorry about that. I had someone knocking on the door and I had to run.
It's not another delivery, is it?
It is another delivery. Yeah, it is. It is. So I had to have a look. I had to run quickly.
Wicked.
So the snakes. Okay, so what's it all about with the snakes and me, you mean? Or
Yeah.
okay. I have always loved snakes. So when I was very young, my parents took me over to India for a holiday, and there were snake charmers. And I watched them, and it really got to me. That was my first experience of a snake, and I absolutely loved it. Then I came back over to England, and as I grew up, that stayed with me. And I think when I was about 16, I bought my first snake, and it was an albino python. And it grew to 14 foot, massive snake, really thick, really beautiful. And for quite a few years, I had that one, and I had a few others. And so I kept snakes. I don't have any snakes now. I don't keep snakes, but it was always a thing with me. And so Cobra Stacker formed from there.
Oh, that's really cool, mate. I love it. So yeah, sorry to ask you that, but it's
No,
probably
not at all.
I'm going to ask you questions that maybe people might think anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So cool, mate. Thank you very much for this journey. I've learned a lot. I'm going to go away and have a look at a lot. A couple of other questions before we finish up, because that hour's gone pretty quickly. I can't believe
Didn't
it.
even realise an hour had gone.
Well, it hasn't gone completely, but by the time I've finished asking these few things, I'm sure it won't be far away. So, in your journey to date, from obviously December, as you mentioned, of last year, pitfalls in the buying. I presume you haven't sold too much, but have you come across any pitfalls?
Yeah, definitely. Some of the pitfalls, one, as I said, with the pawn shops, they charge a lot more, so be aware of that. That's definitely one to avoid. Also, as I say, with the Royal Mint, one of the pitfalls was that bullion stuff, you will definitely get cheaper every single time from the bullion dealers. The proof stuff, sometimes the bullion dealers don't get all of it. So, yes, you will have to pay a bit more with the Royal Mint for that. Other pitfalls, I actually, just to prove a point and just to show people on one of my videos, I ordered a silver and gold completer coin, 1 ounce completer coin, both fake, to show how easy it was to buy fake coins. So there are fakes out there, and there are plenty of them. So this is why when you hear people saying buy from a reputable dealer or buy from a reputable source, and I do include the Silver Forum in that, please do understand that, for the simple reason that they are so well managed that you have the right people on there and it is trusted. But even Amazon, you can pick up fakes and then people can sell them on eBay and all that sort of stuff. So be careful. And I will be doing a video soon on how to check all your precious metals with a SIG machine and without, just to reiterate, checking your stuff when you get it. So that's another pitfall that is there. Again, if you are going to use eBay, which I'm not overly keen on, check the feedback on people, see if they're really dealers in coins especially, or whether they just sell a bit of everything. And these are the sort of things to look out for.
Wicked.
But otherwise, it's been a pretty good journey.
Oh, that's really cool, mate. Yeah, what was your video about the fake ones?
So it was something about testing your coins. I'll look it up and I'll send you the link, and maybe you can put that in the description. It was about testing your coins and picking out. So I had a line of silver and gold there, and I said, before I test all this, can you pick out the 2 fake coins out of 12 coins? And so you could put it in the comments, and then I tested them all and I showed you which were the fake coins.
Oh wow, that's really cool. I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Okay, then thank you very much. And my final question on this particular set of questions is: would you do anything differently? And if so, how would you do it?
I would control myself a bit more. That's the honest truth. I think, look, I have picked up some amazing pieces, and I have picked up some stuff that you will not find easily. It won't come up that often, but I have to be realistic with myself. I have paid over the price for certain bits, more than what I should have, because you have to understand that when you come to sell, if you come to sell, it is going to lose some of the premium on some of the pieces. Some of them are so sought after that you'll make money on them, or your premium will at least be safe. But there are other bits that you may never get it. But if you're a collector stacker, which is what I call myself now, then it's not so bad. I love the beautiful pieces. I love to have what I have. But realistically, yeah, I probably would have curbed it a bit and got more silver for what I spent than what I got, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. definitely. I was kind of thinking that you might have said that was one of your pitfalls as well. When I say
Yeah,
pitfalls,
yeah, definitely. It's you know, think carefully. Look, I'm in a situation where I could afford to do it without putting myself under any pressure, which is fine. Then, you know, then I can decide what I do. Um, but it's not the case. It hasn't always been the case for me. And it's not the case for everyone. So do think carefully. And look, I'm going to say this straight as it is. And you know, there may be some people who won't agree or think I shouldn't be saying it. This is addictive. All right. I'm making no two ways about it. It is addictive. And you have to have some self-control, because otherwise you can shoot through money. And yes, you are saving while you're buying, but you can shoot through money like nobody's business with this. You know, I must admit, a lot of times all I think about is gold and silver at the moment. Oh, what can I get? What can I get? But I think I mentioned it to you earlier. I've just got a load of new pieces coming, but I'm going to calm it down for the moment. I am going to calm it down a bit.
yeah, mate. I can't disagree with you. This is one of the things I've, well, as you know, I've been talking with you lately. I'm very much the same. I can get on my journey. I can get very addicted with it, and a lot of that for me personally was the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
But I didn't quite really. I wasn't quite comfortable with what I was doing at the time. And now I'm a little bit more comfortable, and I've always got a little parrot on my shoulder going, "You sure you want to do this? You sure you want to?"
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, I
so
agree. But if you wouldn't mind, let me ask you, because you know you've found out from me where I buy and why I buy and all that. Where have you been buying from since you started?
okay. Mainly, most of everything I've purchased has been from Atkinson's. So I'm having to think now because I didn't think I was getting asked any questions. You clever man, you. Yeah, mainly. Oh, come on, let me think. I would say the bulk of my stack is from Atkinson's. Yeah, definitely. Because I'm over their price range for not letting the tax man know what I'm doing. So yeah, definitely most of it was from Atkinson's purely because I'm quite comfortable with it,
Yeah,
and that's a big thing for me. Um, I have bought some on my little journeys of trying to find some bullion dealers around the area of where I live. I've found one, and you know my Noah's Ark that he was asking me about.
yes, yeah,
I managed to pick that up while I was looking for some sovereigns in a bullion shop, which was quite cool. But again, when I think about it, it wasn't really worth the fuel to get there and the fuel back,
right.
really. But it was kind of cool just to have the experience more than anything.
Hmm.
And then remember all those gold coins I took some pictures of.
Yeah,
That's another bullion dealer that I bought a few things off of as well. But I'm kind of more comfortable buying from, very much so comfortable from buying from Atkinson's. But as you know, I'm in this process, and I mentioned in my video last night, of doing some more. So yeah, I'll probably try out the silver forearm really, because we're not after anything special. I like to add to the weight of my stack. So yeah, price is everything. So yeah, I'd
yeah,
like to try
right.
that
And
one.
I think you're right. A lot of people do get into that comfort zone, and there's nothing wrong with that, because if you know that you're safe buying from them and you're happy buying from them, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But as I say, the Silver Forum will open your eyes to some realistic prices on some bullion stuff, and if you're just looking at increasing your stack, and sometimes some really nice pieces do come up, it's a great place to go as well.
Yeah, and I just remembered my copper stuff I bought, and the flash coin that I bought, I got from Cardiff Gold, which
Oh,
again, Cardiff Gold, yeah.
okay, okay.
They've got some interesting pieces, slightly more expensive, I would say. than people like Atkinson's and Shards. But it's always cool to have a look around. And if you're not going to go mad, it's always nice to pick up something a little bit different.
Oh, totally.
Which is cool. But now I just need to be very comfortable with what I'm purchasing more than anything.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And you've been really crafty, because I had a question for you that I was going to ask you, and you threw it the other way.
Go on. What was the question?
Oh, mate, I'm trying to think of it. I didn't write it down like an idiot. What was the last thing I asked you? It was about pitfalls, and then after that, it was, would you do it again? And you was talking about your addiction, or not your addiction as in you've got a problem, but the addiction of silver. Yes.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask you, in your journey so far, I'm going to ask you maybe a question that people might want to ask you, and that is, what's your very favorite piece?
Oh, well, I have to default immediately onto kilo coins. So that takes us straight into a certain area. I love my kilo silver coins. And out of them, it has to be the Queen's Beast Completer, 1 kilo silver coin. I absolutely love it. I love the Completer coin as it is. And 1 kilo of silver in your hand is just the most amazing feeling.
Okay, what attracts you? Why the Completer?
So the Queen's Beast series was a phenomenal series which was brought out. I love things like dragons, lions, all that sort of stuff. I'll give you a little secret. When I was young, I used to be into Dungeons and Dragons and all that sort of mythical stuff. So that sort of has my attraction there. The martial arts that I've done since I was getting older had dragons and tigers and lions and all that sort of stuff in it. So those sort of animals really do something in that way. And then the Completer had all of the animals around it. So the 10 released coins in the Queen's Beast series were all put onto that one big coin. And as I say, when you get a kilo coin like that, it's just next level.
Okay, the next question is going to be really straightforward. Gold or silver, both, and why?
Gold all day long. Both in the way of, I will always stack both. Look, silver is a great way to buy stuff when you have a bit of money here and there and you can just chuck a bit in. I do believe it's been suppressed for a long time. I don't believe it will go into 3 figures. I don't believe it's going to rocket through the roof or to the moon or anything like that, for the simple reason it is such an industrial metal that if they do that, prices of everything will go up and it would cause a whole heap of problems for everyone. So yes, I can see it going up a little bit, but not majorly. I enjoy silver. It's beautiful. It does store your wealth. People say it fluctuates and has a very high volatility. I suppose if you work it out on percentage of how much it is, a movement from £21 down to £18 is a massive percentage movement. But if you look at gold, let's say in the last month, it's dropped by £100 an ounce, which is probably a smaller percentage, but a bigger amount in monetary terms. So I think silver's reasonably stable. I enjoy it and it's good. But gold for me is the real one. You have to be careful how much you buy at a time, because it's not cheap for a start. And we have seen the volatility of it, though I am learning more about the seasons of gold as well as what affects it. But gold is the one that can really increase in price. If you look over the last 20 years, we've more than doubled in gold, whereas silver hasn't. So both of them, but gold more so than silver.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for that. One final question before I throw it over to anything else you want to talk about in the last 10 minutes. Is for we both said we're both very not privileged, but we're in a good position that we could have done what we've done. Now for the new stackers out there that are thinking about it, want to do it, haven't got a lot of money, I'm going to ask you, what would you do if you could afford £100 a month or $100 a month for our friends in America or whatever country that you're in, but we'll call it because we're in the UK, £100 a month. How would you spend it on precious metals?
Okay, that is an excellent question, and it's an awkward one in certain ways, because I would want to say get gold, but for £100 a month, if you were to literally spend that £100 every month, you could pick up, well, you couldn't even pick up a 20th of an ounce of gold, because with the premiums, you'd probably be paying 130, 140 a month on a 20th. So there are two ways. Either you put 2 months' money together or 3 months' money together and buy yourself a 20th or a 10th, better so with a 10th, or you go to silver. And with silver, for that amount, you could probably pick up 4 ounces of silver a month. From the Silver Forum, you'll easily pick up an ounce of silver for £25. If not, 3 bits of silver from a bullion dealer, because you'll pay a bit more. So I would stack the silver. I would start with that. Start with your base stuff, i.e. Britannia's. So it's from the UK and you get the benefits of that. And I would literally just make sure on a regular, I would be building that up. And then what you can do at a later stage, when you've built up a nice pot of silver, sell it and get gold. So you can change it into gold. It doesn't have to stay a silver, but you have that wealth being built up. If you were like me when I was young, if I didn't buy something like this, I would be spending it on going out, cars, having fun. And that was a mistake I made. So to all the young'uns, I would 100%. And I've done it with my boy. I've pushed him into every month. He has to buy a little bit. A couple of my mates, same thing. I said, just buy 1 coin a month if you have to. But I would definitely advise that. And as I say, as it builds, and you see the growth and you see what you're building, you will want to do it more. And then again, as I say, you get 10 bits of silver. That's worth, let's say, £300, 10 ounces of silver. Swap it into a quarter of gold, swap it into a 10th of gold, whatever, and start building that. That's what I would do.
That's perfect, mate. That's pretty sound. A sound bit of experience come across there. I'd just like to say, we're not advising anyone to do anything, but that is just absolutely brilliant. Sound from a man that's got a lot of experience, not only in life, but from stacking quite an impressive stack of gold and silver. Thank you very much. I will ask you one thing from that very question is, what's enough silver? You said you would build up a small base.
Yeah.
Where would you go to?
Well, the thing is, as I said I wanted 1,000 ounces. Yeah. I have smashed through that now. I'm probably up to about 1,400 ounces now.
Yeah.
What's enough? Look, silver is not the easiest thing to store. As you get more and more and more, you are not going to be able to keep it all in your house. You just cannot, unless you have 5, 6 safes in all different locations in your house. You probably end up having 2 or 3 safes in one room. So if you have got different places, like I've got a business and I've got other places, and you can spread a few safes around and you can have it like that, then I would carry on. I honestly, creative precious metals is a question and a half, because I can't see myself stopping with silver.
Yeah,
there should be a limit.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool, but I didn't mean it from the context of what you're doing.
Right.
I meant it from the context about when I asked a question from someone new that can only afford £100 a month.
Right.
Was it £100 a month? And you said that you would probably do the stack some silver until you get a core amount behind you. And that's what I meant. What
I see. My apologies.
I would say, okay, would it be like 30 ounces, 20 ounces, 50 ounces, 100 ounces? What?
Honestly, I would say aim for 100 ounces.
Okay, cool.
Honestly, I would say aim for 100 ounces. That's a nice core to back you up for any situation. 100 ounces It'll take you a bit of time, but I promise you what you'll find is after you're doing it a bit, you'll think, I can afford to get 2 ounces this month. And as I say, don't go mad and don't ever leave yourself short for your bills, etc. But as you grow, because I didn't have the sort of money I've got now when I was 20, 25 or 30. This has only really happened as I've built my businesses through time. And maybe in the last 6 to 10 years have I sort of started getting to a level where I'm very comfortable. Before that, I struggled all the way through, and I'm 52 now. So, you know, as you start, say you're 20 years old, and right now you can afford to buy 1 coin a month. And then as you get a pay rise or you move your job in a couple of years' time and you think, well, I can now afford to buy 2 coins a month, then do that. And I think once you've got 100 ounces behind you, that's a nice base level thing. So I always said when I was younger, even have £5,000 in the bank for backup in case there was ever a problem, some emergency. By having 100 ounces, you've basically got, let's say, 2.5 to 3 grand sitting in a safe for backup. But the good thing with this is you can't go out and spend it easily. If someone has a wild party they want to throw, or they want to go on stag do abroad and your 3 grand's gone. Because it's in silver, you can't change it up instantly. So it's a good way to save.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're rapidly approaching an hour and 10 minutes. So I know you've got stuff to do. I've got stuff to do as well. Mate, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you very, very, very much for sharing your journey and the multiple questions that I've asked you. It's been really cool.
Now, thank you, bro. They're very good probing questions. And I hope, if nothing else, I hope this has helped some people out there just to think of things in maybe a different way. And rather than just sticking to the bullion dealers, have a look at the Silver Forum. You will save a lot of money because you'll be able to buy more silver or gold for the money that you're spending. But remember, the bullion dealers are also very good in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons. But Creative Precious Metal, as always, a nice in-depth interview into a subject. Thank you very much indeed for having me again. And we will link up soon on another one, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely, mate. This will only get better. I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully the viewers are enjoying it. Looks like they are. You're getting some nice feedback, nice comments on my channel. They're definitely enjoying my collaborations, which is really cool. So that's a good positive sign, mate. And as I've said to you before, you know, at the end of the day, I just really do enjoy talking with you. You fascinate me with what you've done. As I said on my video last night, every time I see one of your unboxing videos, it's like Christmas Day.
There should be a couple of big ones coming next week. Some really big unboxings. So there's a little, what do they call it? A taster for you. Next week,
Yeah.
Look out for some big unboxings.
Santa Cobra Sacker. So, mate, anyway, thank you very much. I hope everyone's enjoyed that. I have definitely. It's been very informative. Can't thank you enough, buddy. Yeah, please like, subscribe to Cobra Sacker's channel. Leave some comments. Give us some feedback. You liking the direction that this is going in. Yeah, and until the next time, buddy. Thank you very much.
Great stuff, guys. Thank you, everyone out there. And thank you so much for your support. And we'll see you all soon. Creative Precious Metals. Thank you, my brother.
No problem, dude. Take care of yourself. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.